Success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out. Robert Collier. My friends, that sums up so well what we do here each and every day. 10 to 15 minutes following the charts. Practice trading, learning by doing. Let's jump into these charts. Stocks and gold are down. Bitcoin and bonds are up. Let's jump first into the S&P 500. We've got about 17 more minutes till the market closes at 4 o'clock p.m. straight up, Eastern Standard Time here in the States. We see that the S&P down 0.48, 0.49% right now. As we look at the chart, we can see, particularly on the half day, how things have just been sort of seesawing back and forth, refusing to get any higher. Looks like we hit our high of 609.07, then 608, then 607. So again, we peaked back at the beginning of the month and we're just sliding sideways. Doji on the 2-day. A lot of volume on that last doji, the Friday, Monday. And then, of course, this Tuesday, Wednesday is a little red and trying to pass through that weekly trend line. If we put the weekly trend line on just the last 3 candles, and we could pretty much connect those, you can see we're already through it. And again, maybe that's a better way to try to do it since we're not hitting a higher high here. So again, what are we seeing here? Well, we're seeing just some tiredness. Now, could there be something this time of year with the Trump administration coming in that could spark the market to do a Santa Claus rally and to push through strong on the end of the year? Absolutely. In fact, looks like just about anything good might be able to do that. So we will keep an eye on things. We haven't rolled over. We're seeing some pulling back on the 2-day and the half-day, but not a whole lot. So we will keep an eye on things, keep the powder dry. The NASDAQ, not weak at all. Look at the NASDAQ. I mean, a higher high this week. It's been going to higher highs over the last 3 weeks after it sort of popped up back around the 11th of November, and then that next week, the 18th of November, and the following week, the 25th, we just saw things sort of sliding sideways and down, and then took off these last 3 weeks. It's pulling back a little bit for the day, 0.46%. You can just see that up move stopped after a strong day yesterday. So again, well above on the weekly trend line on the 2-day chart and the half day. We'll keep our eye on things. So the S&P not so strong, NASDAQ 100 nice and strong. What's up with 20-year U.S. government bonds? They're up a little bit for the day, but after days and days and days and days of ever-increasing strong down movement, sort of bottomed yesterday, popping up just a little bit. When I say just a little bit, 0.2% is just a little bit. Down candle here this week after a red spinning top and above average volume last week. And again, nothing to write home about. Didn't have volume to match it in the interim high. So again, we're just keeping an eye on bonds. Did not expect that move to go very long. Why? Because we didn't have high volume in the low and then a green spinning top with high volume turnaround told us that wasn't going to happen. So again, not putting a lot of faith in that chart right now because it's not setting up correctly. What about gold? Gold just continues to slide sideways. No catalyst shoving it up or down. Last week, a little bit of an up week. We had 4 days there where gold tried to move up, but then again, starting on Friday, Monday, Tuesday, things heading down. You can see on Thursday, actually, after things peaked. On Wednesday, heading down since then. So no strong catalyst there in gold. You know what I'm curious about, though? I always like, when I look at gold, I always like to look at GDX, too. That's the gold miners. What are they doing? Well, they're moving down, too. About the same kind of thing with gold. In fact, maybe moving down a little stronger than gold itself. So again, if we see gold miners doing real well, I always like to, there's 2 things I like to look at when I look at gold. I like to look at gold miners And since I just recorded the Charting Cryptos, Commodities, and Currencies for the Patreon members, yes, that is going up this evening early for you guys. I also took a look at silver. Silver also, after a green spinning top last week, moving down this week, down for today. Actually started moving down strongly like gold on Thursday. And again, moving, well, you can see where it hit its peak low recently on Tuesday morning and then captured a little bit back from then. So we'll continue to keep an eye on all these things. Now we'll move from gold, lastly, to Bitcoin. Up right now 1.08%. And of course, another nice week in Bitcoin. Don't have a lot of volume to write home about. On the weekly, it's been decreasing. On the 2-day, it stayed well below the average volume since it almost got up to it back on the Thursday, Friday, the 5th and 6th of December. And of course, we do have okay volume, average volume here for many days on the half day. But again, up in the morning, not quite so high in the afternoon on Tuesday. That's where we are with Bitcoin. That's where we are with everything that we track for you. Always love to hear from you. As I just said, Patreon members, already recorded Charting Cryptos, Commodities, and Currencies. That will be for you at the Patreon page. Always love to hear from you, my friends. God bless. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.